Hello, and welcome at episode 34 of our Ellie Talks, your insights in the world of sustainable fashion and textiles. So today we have a special guest, Mr. Ruben Demets, recycling manager at BekaertDeslee. Welcome, Ruben.
Thank you.
BekaertDeslee is a global leader in mattress textiles. A lot of people have heard of it, I believe, offering a full range of products that enhance sleep comfort and quality. So today we're going to talk about pioneering, I can say, in the world of sleep solutions. But before we start diving into the products and the business, we always like to get a little bit personal. So Ruben, can you maybe describe a little bit what passionates you? What is the professional path you have taken? Who is Ruben?
Okay, maybe a little bit about my personal life. So I enjoy reading and watching series and movies like everybody else. Next to that, I play badminton on a competitive level. I also enjoy immersing ourselves with friends in fantasy. So we're doing board games and playing sessions of Dungeons and Dragons. And then also, I'm also really passionate about the sea. So mostly if we choose together with my girlfriend a destination for holidays, then we choose a location near the beach that we can swim and snorkel and discover the ocean life.
Nice.
And then for my studies, during my studies, I developed a passion for plastic recycling, I can say. I did chemical engineering, and afterwards I started a PhD in Ghent University, focusing on plastic recycling in the broad sense. So processing properties, structure, relationships, separation of plastics. So that. And then after I finished my PhD, I went to Maastricht University for 1 year to help setting up a new research group together with my promoter for my PhD then over there. Yeah.
Okay, and the plastics are linked to the sea when you dove, where you saw the plastic bottles sitting
no,
swimming?
not really, but yeah, I can imagine that it's always, if you're swimming in the sea more and more, you see also that ocean plastics. It's floating around, but I think a lot of people are already working on that. Also, BekaertDeslee, we are using the sequel yarn, for example, in our product. So we're trying our best.
Could be that there's a link between your passion as well. And what made you choose? The recycling part I understand for the sleep solutions sector.
It's more about I wanted to move closer back to Ghent again, to live together with my girlfriend, be closer to my friends as well, and closer to hobbies. And then BekaertDeslee had an open position for recycling manager, which was really fitted to my background and to my profile, and it's also something different than from packaging waste. So it was a refreshing start in textile recycling. Okay. I'm not saying that it is more easy, but it's certainly a challenge to tackle the textile recycling.
Okay, that's great to hear. And we're going to continue with the story to talk about BekaertDeslee and how they are pioneering in this whole industry and product recycling. So let's start maybe on the industry level. Why can we consider BekaertDeslee as a pioneer in this industry? How do you see that from your role as a recycling manager?
Yeah, I think in the first place, BekaertDeslee invests in having a position as a recycling manager. They have a position for a recycling manager. I think not all companies have that possibility because they are or too small or cannot afford it. So it's really nice to really work on the technical level on recycling of our products. And more it's of course BekaertDeslee is focusing on recycling its own products, so mattress textiles, mattress covers, and there are currently not ready-made solutions so far, so we are really trying to get involved in what is the best solution for our products.
And why is it so important for the company to invest in the aspect of recyclability?
I think the number one is legislation. It's just being prepared of what's coming towards us of legislation. So our products, they will demand that they are recyclable. They will probably demand a certain amount of recycled content in them. So it's really necessary to start working already on these solutions right now, that you're prepared for future.
Yeah, I agree. And do you know a timing for that legislation to come into? Because I thought that the mattress industry was already a little bit advanced on that.
Yeah, you have already EPR systems in place. Mattress is already collected, dismantled, but of course we are making or manufacturing, weaving, knitting, the textile part of the mattress. And in fact, if you start looking at that one, that's not recycled so far. It's still mostly being incinerated, I think, or going towards filling solutions or wadding or filling up pillows or other kinds of products.
We heard that in other podcasts as well, that it's not because you collect it that you know what happens in the next step indeed. So I understand that there's still some work to do there also on transparency. So let's zoom into the product level as well. What measures does BekaertDeslee take to ensure sustainability in its products?
Yes.
With regards to recycling, of course.
More and more we focus on, because we are a B2B company, so we buy our yarns and then we make the products of them. So we really need to negotiate with our suppliers to deliver yarns that have a lower carbon footprint. And next to that, our product team is already monitoring if we have a product, can it be recycled? So is it recyclable? And what is the content of recycled content in that product? So that's something that we are already monitoring. But of course, it's still quite difficult to do that because there are no clear definitions about recyclability. You have different options of recycling, different technologies, and each one of them has different requirements. So it's still quite difficult, in fact, to really set up a system that is completely correct, I would say. Yeah.
You talked about your suppliers. Are they already advancing as well on that type of innovation, recyclability, and maybe the importance of knowing what is coming as well?
I think the big ones are quite on level with the legislation that is coming. But I think there is still a lot of work to do in making the textile sector like a more sustainable one. You see companies talking about the energy mix or putting more electrification in their machinery. That's something that you can do, but then of course it's also about really the end of life solutions of the textile product itself. And there we still have a lot of work to do. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can help a little bit with Ellie.Connect on that as well. Let's also talk about the waste management level. So you're also a pioneer, so that means that you also have to look at your own waste processes management. Can you maybe share some insights how you handle that?
So looking at our own post-production waste, because we have, on the one hand, we have the knitting and weaving of fabrics on roll, and then next to that we also have cover confection. And in cover confection or confection in general, you have a lot of waste that is cutted from the actual product. And that's where we have our volumes. And there, for the European plants then, we already implemented a sorting system in which we sort the waste materials, the waste cuttings, in categories. So based on polyester content, also on color, elastan content, hindering chemicals. So because we are really a company that makes our products, so weave and knit, but then we also do finishing to give the product a certain functionality or even more functionalities. So that's also a point where it can be difficult because they don't match the recycling technology, or they hinder the recycling technology.
So I think we also go towards the topic of eco-design then. How, as a recycling manager, I can assume as well, are you taking into account this challenge of chemicals or other challenges in your eco design products?
Yeah.
Because it's quite a complex product, if I can imagine.
Yeah, indeed. So, and also if you have to imagine it's a mattress, or product goes to a mattress, and a mattress is already a composite structure. And then we are now only talking about the textile product. So yeah, the difficulty there is that you have mostly a mix of different products or different materials, polyester, cotton, then chemicals on top of that. So we are looking into solutions, and we already have solutions ready to deliver a 100% monomaterial. If you have hindering chemicals, we are looking at finding alternatives that then can go through the recycling process and don't hamper the quality of the recycled product. And then also for example, a zipper, we are looking into polyester alternatives that you also have, again, that 100% monomaterial, or even like delete the zipper material and just make the design like that you have a zipperless cover that can directly go over the foam without a zipper, and then you have, again, at the end of life, you can separate it and you have a material fraction that most likely can go to recycling again.
Yeah. So you talked about the design. You're now a function of a recycling manager. I can assume that the design team at BekaertDeslee as well is involved. How are you cooperating or working together on that topic?
That's quite difficult still, because it's not clear what will be defined recyclable, how much recycled content we need. So every day
from the legislation point.
Okay. Yeah. So every day we learn new things, and then we talk with design, with our designers to really put effort in making as much as possible those recyclable products. So I think, it's still finding a balance also between making monomaterials or multi-materials that have functionalities. It's the product still needs to have the right requirements to go to that the customer is interested in our products and want to buy our products.
So you need to balance that. I think transparency and clarity from the European side as well on legislation is a very important topic. I think we see that with electric cars today, that they can shift a lot in the design of products as well. So when we talk about using recycled materials as well, we can talk about the broader concept of circularity. How does BekaertDeslee contribute to a circular economy in the whole of the sleeping solutions industry?
On the one hand, it's really putting effort in that design for recycling, so making sure that the product from the beginning is fit to the different recycling technologies or can go to recycling. And then the other aspect is, of course, creating transparency, making sure that the product is traceable. And for that, we already try to find solutions via a digital product passport linked to a readable tag that you can really go, if the product eventually ends up in the waste stream or is collected, that you still know the composition and the end of life pathway for that product. And that for mattresses is quite difficult, because they often lie at people's homes for 8 or 10 years. So it's a quite difficult or complex product.
What about the post-production waste you talked about? Are you already setting up circular supply chains for those waste streams, or are they also recycled elsewhere?
Yeah, so what we are focusing right now on is putting a lot of effort in looking at technical solutions. So because the technologies, the real closed loop technologies, textile to textile, so making a yarn again from our waste, are still not on point. So they are in development, and together with those suppliers, but also chemical companies, we're talking to look at what is possible with our waste streams.
Yeah.
For now, yeah, of course, we make sure that our waste is also collected in those different fractions, in those different categories, and make value from these waste fractions, and now send them to a recycler, mostly for lower grade products. I would not say lower grade, because if it's used as a stuffing and you use a recycled material as stuffing instead of a virgin material, it's of course also giving
It's an improvement.
a carbon footprint improvement. Yeah.
And is that sorting done on a European level or on a global scale?
For now, it's on a European level. So we first implemented this in our European plants, but there's of course the idea also to move it over to the Americas, to China, to our Indonesian plant. So that's really the idea to also implement. It's already in our data system, so it's easily converted to the other plants as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We talked about circular economy, working together with ecosystems. So you mentioned you can't do sustainability on your own. You have to engage the whole value chain. How important is that collaboration with other partners in and even outside the industry for you?
Yeah, it's very important, because the textile value chain is quite long, so our chain is also quite long. And like I said, we are a B2B company, so we buy the yarns and we convert it to a fabric. So we're not yarn spinners ourselves, so we really have to find the right collaborations, the right partnerships to set up a value chain. Who can, or if we do it ourselves, do the recycling. And then, of course, you also need to go, if you want to create a closed loop system, also make the yarn again that can be used in the product. So it's quite important. And then next to that, so you have the upwards value chain, I would say, but then you also have the customers. Our customers are the mattress assemblers, the bed-in-a-box companies. They also need to know that putting recycled content in a product is mostly also involving a certain premium.
Yeah, price premium. Yeah.
So that's also really important, that this is a global mindset, that recycling comes at a cost.
And how do you go about that, educating your customer or end customer, or engaging them in your circularity story?
Yeah.
Do you have special actions for that?
I think we are quite close with our direct customers. So it's not about only solving our own sustainable actions or sustainable issues or challenges, but also helping and guiding our customers in their actions. Because I think if we have the expert knowledge on a recycling topic, we can really push them towards certain products that are more recyclable, have a higher content of recycled or renewable content. So it's very important also there to work together closely.
Yeah. Okay. And do you feel that it's changing, that the willingness, of course, we're today in a difficult economic market. Do you feel that the customer is still open to...
It's currently it's quite difficult because we are also in a commodity market. So prices of the yarn should be cheap. Our fabrics are quite low in cost, I would say. So it's small margins, and if you then use a recycled material that has a too high price, then customers will not be interested in this. And then legislation should play its role, that legislation that is creating an equal playing field, a level playing field over all the continents or regions in the world to increase gradually recycled content and products.
Okay. Let's hope we go that way. And speaking about going that way, we will also have a short look at the future. Are there any exciting projects that are upcoming you're working on, or that you can share something about?
So actually we are mostly working still on lab pilot scale, also already a little bit on industrial scale on making a yarn from our waste. So a lot of efforts are going there. I can also say that we put more and more effort on design. So we also just finished a project proposal to work on innovative design solutions for our products, and then focusing on the digital product passport, how to implement it, how to put it on our products, and then see also downwards how it should then be handled. And on top of that, also deboundable yarns, for example, to look at those solutions, if we can put, still work with multi-material products, but then at the end of life, separate them in the different material fractions, and every material fraction can then go to its own recycling pathway. So that's something where we are working on. Yeah.
Okay. And what if you could dream big? Maybe BekaertDeslee as a company, but also you as well as a recycling manager. What is your biggest ambition?
Of course, recycling capacity of ourselves would be very nice. It's indeed a very huge investment, of course, and if that would not be possible, then finding close collaborations and partnerships to really set up a circular value chain for our products, for our waste materials. I think that's something that should be developed in the coming years. Okay. And will also be necessary, I think. Yeah.
Okay. In any case, Ellie.Connect.com can help with that, setting up circular value chains. So definitely have to have a look there to find the right partners or some of the listeners or viewers today. Maybe because you're, of course, addressing a large community of, I think, like-minded people. If you had 1 minute to address them, what would you like to talk to the community about, or a message would you like to share with them?
I think the message that I would share is towards policymakers, that they should talk more with the companies. With the companies. And certainly with recycling companies, because I think you need engineers and certainly material science and material knowledge to set up those value chains, to make the right designs of the products. And that's something that I'm mostly missing now in the policy or the legislation that they are setting up. It should really be well taught, and you need really material experts that give their input and take the right decisions.
Yeah. So it's a call to action to policymakers and maybe industry federations as well to push their to provide the right basis, I think, to make that work, because that's
it's about not it's helping the companies and not punishing them. That's the thing that should happen.
A positive stimuli to arrange that. Okay, interesting. Thank you very much, Ruben, for your insights and passion in even a B2B company has steps to take there. So thank you for your insights, and I wish you good luck on your further projects as well, and hopefully we can talk about the new projects in a few years, or the recycling capacity there.
Okay,
thank you very much.
Thank you.